So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Conscious Awakening series. I'm your host, Sheila Seepi, founder of the Wish Alliance, and I'm here with my amazing and beautiful co host, Ms. Michelle Anderson. And tonight, our special guest is the lead singer songwriter of the band Larisa Stowe Shakti Tribe, and we are going to get to hear some of her beautiful sacred music here in just a little bit. But before we start, I do want to let everyone know that this Wednesday, the 16th at 12 o'clock Pacific time, there's going to be a free Zoom event, Beyond UFO Disclosure. And I want to let everyone know about it because it's going to be free. So please register for that and mark it down on your calendar. And I also want to take this time to thank our partners, New Realities. We have Alan Steinfeld here tonight, and I'm going to let Alan say a few words here in just a moment, and also Portal to Ascension. So I want to thank everyone for being here, for supporting the Wish Alliance, and for helping just to bring on that weevolution that everybody's talking about. So before we start, Alan, let me go ahead and let's bring you up because you have something special to tell people about too.
Well, it has to do with our special guest tonight, Larissa Stowe. She's part of a whole day Kundalini, not activation, but overview of what this really is about. What is this awakening of divine energy? And when I found out Larissa had those experiences, I wanted her to share it because she's just a great expressive person, and she and gives people a personal feeling of her experience. That's what I noticed about her. So it's a whole day of many people, including Larissa, Dorothy Walters, my friend Valerie. There's a few others. And what is this divine energy that seems to be activated in people that we all have, and can we all access it? And I think we can, but it's sort of like you can get it from someone. They can pass it on. They can give you a transmission, and something happens within the body that's really miraculous and divine. So I'm really happy. That's May 21st on portaltoascension.org, and lots of great events Neil and me and Sheila have done over the past really 2 or 3 years. We've done some epic events, and this is another one. And join us May 21st. So go to Portal to Ascension, sign up for the Kundalini day-long intensive. Thank you, Sheila, and everybody
Beautiful.
else.
Thank you. And if you are a YouTube subscriber, we want to thank you for watching this, and be sure to subscribe and like this show so it gets more views and we can provide more programming. So thank you guys very much, and thank you so much, Alan. You're awesome. Love you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I need to go get some more light here. The sun is setting and the moon is rising, so here we are. Okay. See
Okay.
you later.
Thanks for
Thank you,
being
Sheila.
here.
Thank you.
All right, so now I want to bring on my awesome co host, Ms. Michelle Anderson.
There. It feels so good to be here in this group again. This is week number 3, actually, that we've been together, and I can feel the container that the energy is building, and we're building upon this widening of our circles and the cross collaboration of our circles. And I'm to thank you so much, Sheila, for modeling what the weevolution is. And Larisa Stowe is my sister, my partner in shine tonight. She got this beautiful transmission about this word weevolution, and I think ever since she started talking about it in many of the circles that she's traveling in, and on our radio show, Awakening Code Radio, ever since then, all these doors are opening for us to consciously collaborate with each other, and it just feels like it keeps expanding, and the container keeps growing. And where we're at right now in these somewhat crunchy times, it's very needed. So I want to thank you for hosting us, Sheila, and I'm so honored to present to you one of my dear, beautiful friends, Larisa Stowe. Thank you for being here, Larisa.
Thank you, Michelle, for inviting me and introducing me to Sheila, and so that I can be here with all these beautiful beings in your beloved community. I love seeing how we're just coming together. It's Scott was just saying on the awakening world. There's so much, and by the way, I love all this awakening, right? Awakening code, awakening world, awakening uh,
Yes.
your show
Mhm.
alliance, right? It's just it's
Mhm.
incredible, like what's happening. Um, we truly are awakening, and I think that this word itself is coming up because it's affirming what's actually happening, like it's truly happening. And I'm just so grateful to see us coming together in these different ways. Scott was saying that it's like we're these imaginal cells, right? Of the caterpillar that is finding the butterfly within itself, becoming the butterfly within itself. And we're finding each other right now. All these different circles are coming together. And in that, it's like we, this message, this collective message that we all know and feel within ourselves that we've been really present to for quite some time is making its way into mainstream. And it's kind of blowing my mind. I don't know about all of you, but it's like all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, we've been working on this for a really long time. We've been speaking this, right, in our communities. And now I'm like, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it in the world in the mainstream.
It's
And it's
it's
just,
such a great feeling to hear some of the words that people used to look at us and say, "What are you even talking about? You're on a whole different page," and to hear, regular. But why call it regular? It's just like people that I wouldn't expect to be kind of stepping over into this realm of um expansiveness. Like I joke about my daughter always wanting to cut me off whenever I was talking about extraterrestrials or sisters from the stars or sisters from the sea, mermaid sisters. And my daughter would be like, Mom, I don't get it, or crystals or any of that stuff. And now a lot of people are really getting into essential oils and crystals and energy healing and talking about their their intuition kicking in, having certain feelings, and this is the time. I think a lot of us have like visioned it for a long time. We visioned it into being. We're here now. And it does feel like for every one of us here, anybody that lands on this page, maybe even after the broadcast tonight, because we're live on Valentine's Day. And it's no accident that we have this beautiful Larisa Stowe who holds such an impeccable space of heart opening and love, that this is the day that I just knew was the right day that you would join with us, because it's the day that the whole world celebrates love. And we want to celebrate love every day, every single day. But this is the day, termed Valentine's Day. And if somebody's watching this broadcast 3 weeks from now, it's a good reminder to stay in our hearts and keep our hearts open,
yeah.
and really to step into that space of transmitting love and compassion and kindness and gratitude and harmony, even when we're going through chaotic times. And that's leading me into, before we started recording, Sheila and I were talking about, I texted her, it's been a unique day. And Sheila said to me, I hope unique in a good way. And I thought, in a good way? Well, all of it's good. All of it's divine. We're just learning to navigate these spaces in between. So I share that a friend of mine had the task before her to put her beloved companion, her dog, to sleep today. And wanted me to be on a Zoom call right before all of this, so I've been crying and, holding that space, but it was so beautiful to be able to do that and to see the crows came and the hummingbirds came and a dog down the street started barking that I've never heard bark before, and just feeling the elements and how it all aligned organically, even though it felt crunchy, like, oh my gosh, I have to go, I have this call to do. And Larisa and I, we planned this a few months ago maybe, and we thought we were going to talk about it, and today was the day, and we're like, oh my gosh, we haven't even talked yet about.
But it's all organic. And, earlier as you were talking about, it's exciting to hear more and more people vocalize those things that we've been talking about. And, the more that we're able to do that, the more we're able to normalize these types of conversations to where they don't become eccentric, they become
Right.
commonplace. Yeah.
Yeah.
So exciting.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. We're normalizing it. It's no
Absolutely.
longer this woo-woo conversation. It's a necessary conversation. It's I think the most important conversation to be having right now, especially with what we're going through on our planet, with the polarization that we're all experiencing, within the culture, within the internet, people call it like, cyber wars at this point. And this is the antidote. It truly is the antidote for everything we're going through. And it's like the, 59th minute of the last minute of that movie. Are they gonna make it? Is humanity gonna make it? Is the planet gonna make it? Well, yes, just like every good movie, every awesome movie that we love, it gets really dark before it gets really light. There's a huge contraction, big, huge pull of that bow and arrow, so to speak, before that arrow goes and it goes choo, and we hit that mark that we have been visualizing for so long. And I really believe that we are here, that we have been called here at this time, that we were born. We were born for this time. I have a feeling that a lot of us that are on this Zoom and the people who are tuning in, it's like we kind of were like, I feel like I'm from another planet. I kind of feel like, do I really fit in here? Because I'm like all about love, and this is crazy. Like this, how did I get this body where I can't do the things that I know I can feel I can do? And there's a part of me that was really wondering, like, wow, this is really hard. This world is hard to be in this place. And yet I have to say, like, right now, it's almost, well, it is harder, I think. It's more challenging. I've seen people and the world become more challenged as a whole, and not just from COVID, but from the fear that has permeated because of COVID, and the fear that has gripped people's hearts and families because of the differences of the way people are approaching it and seeing it. But what's funny to me, not funny, haha, but more of an irony, is that this time I feel like I was made for it. Like, and I'm wondering how everybody else on this Zoom call and those who are watching this, what's coming up for everyone. Because I literally feel like right now, like there is this absolute, more than a probability, it feels like destiny to me.
Yeah.
That we're going to make it, that we're going to do this, make this huge leap in consciousness, that we're preparing for a huge leap in consciousness, and that you have to feel that the contraction, you have to feel the mud and the conflict, and like specifically the shadow, like what's been lurking in the shadow, it has to rise up to the surface so we can see it, but ultimately heal it. It needs to be healed. It needs to be healed. And it can't heal until you feel it and see it. So that's why I have so much hope, and hope isn't even the word. That's why I have faith, and why I know with all my heart that that where we are right now is exactly where we need to be in order to create what we were born to create in this lifetime. Those of us, we're star seeds. We came here to do this.
The bridge. It feels like we're bridging worlds, and holding space, holding hands. So I like what Cindy was just sharing in the chat, that her building caught on fire on Valentine's Day in 2019. And
Ooh.
then she was watching the news, which she usually doesn't watch mainstream, and showing a building that looks just like hers at some other location that caught on fire today on Valentine's Day. So interesting to hear that. And then she says she was feeling everything they would go through on Valentine's Day. And she was feeling grateful that she got through that and she made it. She's here today. And, wow, that is such a testament to what I feel we're all holding space for, that we have our challenges, and to be grateful when we get through them. And it's kind of like we're riding on these waves, and we're all at different places on the wave as we ride it. But when we come into community like this, it feels so safe. Safe is my word right now. It just feels so safe to be. I want to cry right now too. To feel like we can share authentically with each other and not be chastised for whatever emotions coming up for any of us. And knowing that we all have each other's backs, that it's so
Absolutely.
important.
Yes,
It is.
it is. Absolutely. That's the whole thing. Once again, right? It's like
Yeah.
we're not doing this alone. We're doing this with each other.
Yeah.
That's where the idea of the weevolution comes in.
And I know when so many ways that it's happening, where, our circles are touching each other.
Yeah.
And then blending and merging with each other. And Larisa, you were talking about being on Scott Thomas's Awakening World. Is that the name of his Awakening World show this last weekend?
Yeah.
And he was asking you to share some of what you've been going through. And it brings us into that space of just the real authentic space of what each one of us may be experiencing right now.
Yes.
And how we can hold space for you, because you're always holding space for us.
Thank you.
And I want to be able to have everybody here create that container.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's just close our eyes for a minute. And let's just imagine we're all standing in a circle, hand in hand, and taking deep breaths in. We feel that energy coming into our hearts, up and out of our mouth or our nose as we exhale. And as we exhale, we're creating this beautiful light, this mist. And that mist goes up and behind each and every one of us. And the more we breathe in and the more we breathe out, the stronger this container becomes, the thicker the walls. And it's as if these walls themselves have retained this organic nature that we've all contributed to. And we feel that love around us as we bring it in to us and through us and gift it out to each other. And so it is.
So
What is?
Ooh, I've got the cold chills. I don't know about anybody else.
Ooh,
That
that
felt
was
really good.
that was really, really good. Really,
really, really felt it.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. And that is what we do. And, you know, I think that art and music and poetry is that expression of that love and everything that we feel, the good, the bad, the ugly, that fear that we can transmute into love and support. And I know we're going to be blessed with one of your songs here pretty soon, but I'm so excited to hear that. And I just want you to know that from all of our hearts to you, that we love you and support you, and we are very blessed by your being here.
Thank you. I I feel that. I really, really feel you all and appreciate it. It's been quite a journey. I don't know if Michelle shared with you. Did she share with you at
It's,
all?
I
No?
said it was your story to tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a couple weeks ago, I found a lump in my breast,
Mm.
and it's a pretty good size lump. And I've been here before. Just so you know, just to circle back, I've been here before. I was here in 2019, and I had a breast cancer scare. And at that time, that's when I had so much open up. That's when I had visitations from Divine Mother, who was sharing with me where I needed to grow if I still wanted to stay in my body. And she specifically shared with me how I wasn't receiving like I was giving, that I wasn't very open to receiving others' medicine as much as I was to sharing my medicine and my gifts with the world. I had no idea. I'm like, to me that made no sense because I'm like, I'm lovable. Like I love people. I allow people into my heart. How can that be true? How can I not be receiving, fully? And she's like, you're gonna understand. You've been what she told me, she said, you've been living in what she called the nine at the time. And I'm not gonna go into all that and all the symbolism of that tonight because that would take a while, as I've found, explaining it. But she shared with me that I came in on the nine in this lifetime, and that I've come in on the nine in many lifetimes, which is the frequency of the saintly martyr, and that it was time for me to, if I wanted to stay in my body, which she wasn't attached to, like my frequencies, which I call them, that work with me a lot, were not attached. My choice. But she said, if you want to stay in your body, it's time for you to move into the 10. You're going to have to unplug from the electrical outlet of the saintly martyr and plug into the 10, which is a we space. And that's where you allow yourself to deeply receive others' medicine as well as giving of your medicine. And still, that didn't make like perfect sense to me. And she said it would take time just to be in the question of it. And then I had a visitation from Mama Gaia, like,
Mm.
who took me over powerfully and showed me about us as a community, as a galactic community, as an earthly and galactic community, to link arms and hands and hearts, and again in this we space, and to have a vision on what we want, to look towards what we want and not what we don't want, which is what we have been doing on this planet for so long. To put the awareness on, what do you want to create? If you're all about love, Larisa, then focus on that and how you're going to get there. But not just you. You can't do this alone. You're not a little, private island here, like your own little private Idaho. This is about the we. Link with your sisters, link with your brothers that have that connection to the divine feminine, that the love of the planet, and are dropped into their heart, from the head into the heart. And together walk forward.
Mm.
And so I got that from Mama Gaia, but then the next piece that came, because there was a series and a rounds of me being in the hospital and out of the hospital and in the hospital, and I was back in the hospital after this vision with Mama Gaia on Easter, by the way. She came on Easter. And I went back into the hospital and I was talking to Divine Mother once again. And I said, how do I evolve quickly? Because here I was so sick in the hospital. How do I do this? How do I evolve? And she said, there is no evolving. It's we-volving. There is no more evolution without we-volution. So I was being trained bit by bit by spirit, by Mama Gaia, when it's like the we space, with the visitations from Divine Mother before, about receiving medicine, from the world. It's like this reciprocal. So it's all these kept pointing to the we, but then specifically this idea of the we-volution really got me. Like really got me. And the we of it and the weaving together. And so I just started thinking, how can I do this? Like, how can I do what she's asking? Because she said, you need to create a weevolution. And you need to step back a bit and lift others up. You need to hold hands with others and bring others forward too. To let people hear their voices. Your role is going to be more about, at this point, about leading the leaders, so to speak. It's like bringing people together. Your role is going to be like trying to connect and being a mouthpiece for the weevolution to bring people together. And like, how does that look? And trying to be as creative as possible of thinking all the different ways the weevolution could happen, right? And so that's what began to wake up in me. And I started with, like, at Shakti Fest, asking, because I was performing with our band, asking other musical artists, female artists that I love, that I respect, that I look up to, asking them to come sing with me on stage, and to take turns singing rather than just singing all the time myself. Like, let's blend our voices together. Let's become more choral about this in our messaging in the world. So that was like a first step. And then there was, after we started getting the shutdowns, I came on to Facebook Live and started talking about the weevolution and leading meditations on Facebook Live. And then I promised I would do it through the end of COVID, thinking COVID would last a couple months. And 90 days later, without taking a break, without taking 1 day break, I was like, okay, I think it's time for the weevolution. Like, ding, 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 ding. Another way of the weevolution is like bringing other leaders to come forward and leading in meditations too. I don't have to do this all. And in fact, this is what Divine Mother is asking of me. And ding, ding, I should have thought of it before, but now it's here. I'm thinking about it. So then I brought leaders in to continue to lead meditations every day, and that's still going. And then talking to Scott about it, and him saying, come on, talk about the weevolution here. So I'm just watching this incredible flowering, and in the midst of all of this, bam, this breast lump comes. And a couple Saturdays ago, and I'm like, holy shit, like, it's huge. I mean, and it appeared out of nowhere, like nowhere. So back in the doctors I go. But in the meantime, what got me through my last round in 2019 is I was so connected to spirit, so connected to Divine Mother, Mama Gaia, just in such deep surrender, while also being very sick and not feeling good, but trusting that spirit has my back. As Michelle was saying, her feeling we have each other's back, and we as spirit in form, we have each other's back. And then spirit, where we come from and what we return to, leaning into the depth of that and knowing that everything is happening for us. And I know in my own being, as frightening as it is as a human, going through this process, I know in every cell of my body that this is happening for me, that even this lump is happening for me, and that it's also happening for our community as well. Because I get an opportunity now to be honest once again. All right, how honest can you get? My God. But here I am, in this honesty and transparency of like just holding powerfully that this is happening for me, that spirit is happening through me, that and knowing that I come from love and I return to love because I am love. And I believe that I can, just like it all transmuted in 2019, the DCIS that was in my breast that they wanted to take off my breast back then, give me a mastectomy, completely transmuted, completely went away. Like went from you need a mastectomy to oh my God, it's gone, when I didn't get a mastectomy right away. And so now here it is. So I have this awareness that I can transmute this as well. And if for whatever reason it doesn't transmute and it goes whatever which way it goes, that's destined too. And to be that surrendered. And that doesn't mean that I don't have my emotions, because they're right here. Like I'm like, later, because it's like I went had an ultrasound with Dr. Kelly today, who is the inventor of this incredible ultrasound that does 60 frames per second rather than just like the one frame that you get. So you can actually see if there's fluid on the inside of these cysts or whatever is going on. That gives you a better idea of if it's a cyst or it's cancer or what it is, rather than a normal ultrasound or mammograms. And when he looked at it today, he was like, well, Larisa, this is not a normal cyst. It also doesn't look like what I would normally see as cancer either. He said what it looks like is that it's filled with a lot of blood. And there's some other stuff going on in there, and this needs to come out right away. He's like, I need to get you into a surgeon immediately. So that's a lot. That's a lot. So I was taking a thumb drive down to a surgeon today before our call and getting my blood work this morning. Now I'm here with you all. So it's quite a day, and it's quite another opportunity to just be real about life, the preciousness of this life, and the power of presence and of faith, that what is happening on our planet with COVID, with everything that's happening with our bodies, with the passing of those that we love, that again, this is happening for us. And yes, we're going to have fear come up, but not to be calcified by that fear, or not to be taken down by the fear, using fear as an opportunity to face ourselves, just like the hero in a movie. It's always the fear that has the hero or the heroine rise up to meet themselves and meet greater levels of strength within themselves. So I know that this is here so that I can become even stronger and be that much more of hopefully an inspiration for others to know that they don't have to be afraid. That this is life. This is the miracle of life. And I am so present to that. So, yeah, thank you for witnessing everyone so powerfully, and for being here as allies. And I receive your prayers full on receive your prayers as well.
Thank you for sharing so transparently and authentically, Larisa. I've come to know you as somebody who says it like it is And you always do it with a smile, even if you're feeling all the emotions that go along with it. It's not like you're pretending to be anything that you're not. And we can all learn from that for sure. I mean, we're all on this wild ride. And at the same time, it does feel like what you said, destined. This is our destiny, and we're in it together. I think that's why we all say yes when we show up to these Zoom calls, and weaving our energies, and how important it is as we hold space for each other and know that, each one of us is going through our own stories. And it feels so important that we're sharing them, because when we share them, we can all relate.
Yeah.
And realize, I mean, what's the word that comes through for me so often in the last 2 years has been surreal. Yeah. Like, is this really our life? I thought it was a dream, but yet I'm awake in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And again, awakening, there's that word again.
Yes.
So we're all awakening to what it's like to be in human bodies. Mm-hmm. And it feels really good to be with people that understand what it's like to not be in a human body as well, to be, multidimensional, or experience some level of multidimensionality. And I think that in itself eases some of the fear that comes through, the fear that we witness in a lot of people. I mean, I know I feel it as a human, it comes up. And then I jump into this sea of beauty with all of you here. And when we're all together, it feels like, wow, okay, so this is like home.
Yeah.
And it feels really peaceful.
Yes. It does. It feels really peaceful.
And when you perform, I think my friend Heather Powers that was on with us last week.
I love Heather.
She is a bright light as well, and she sang a beautiful song. And one of the things that I noticed last week is when she sang, it's a gift for each one of us, but it's also a gift for the person that's singing. And when we were talking today earlier about what song would be the appropriate song, that the song that I said, please do that one.
You did. You did.
Because that one, the song that Larisa has recently been singing on our show and some of the other ones, it's called Calling Back My Spirit. And it feels so poignant for today, for you to sing it and for us to receive it, and vice versa, for you to receive it back from yourself, your future self.
Yes.
Singing to your present self. That's how I saw it when we talked about it.
Yes. You're inviting me to do this now.
I'm wondering, I can't even see how far into the show we are or anything. It just felt like
we have as much time as we need. Karen Swain is with us tonight. And she also has her hand up.
Well, I can't see any.
Will you be willing to entertain a question real quick? Karen, where did you go?
Where did she go? Where did she go?
She was just here. I finally just saw her.
I'm here.
Oh, there she
There
is.
you are.
Oh my gosh. Hello, beautiful. I have been thinking about you so much. I actually just watched one of your interviews recently that was just profound and beautiful. I came upon it. So good to see you.
So good to see you and to hear a story too. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. But I've been thinking about you too. And as I sit here listening to you, so I met Larissa 20 years ago. I stayed at the house when your baby was a baby.
You were in here. You were in here when these walls were painted blue.
Oh my gosh.
You were in
the temple.
But I have to say, the thing that I want you to share now that sticks with me with all those years, apart from you being amazing and your music being amazing and everything, is the story you shared with us about being in the Vatican City and having a healing touch.
Oh,
Angel. Can you share that with us?
yes. Okay. So one of the reasons for you all to understand why I have like these challenges, so like why they come up for me so easily, is I'm a DES baby, first of all, if those of you who know. So I've had struggle with estrogen dominance my entire life, even before I was born. Okay, so I came in like that. I had high fevers, ear infections, endometriosis, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's crazy. And in my 20s, I woke up one day and couldn't move. And then came to find out that I had rheumatoid arthritis. And I had it so bad that I was on a walker in my 20s. And then I found a doctor who put me on these meds, but I wasn't going to stay on anti-inflammatories. I wasn't going to stay on steroids for the rest of my life. And my family took a journey to Italy, and they kind of went off in different directions, and I met up with one of my friends at St. Peter's Cathedral. And mind you, I had just been put on these meds like months ago from a doctor when we found out I had rheumatoid arthritis. And so I could walk at this point without a walker because I was on high doses of the steroids and the anti-inflammatories. But if I didn't take them, my body would swell up so fast within one day that I couldn't walk. So, and my knuckle was all red, like really horribly red, and it was calcifying, and it was hard to close my jaw, and it was hard to breathe without the meds. So I was taking my meds. I was serious about it. So we went to St. Peter's Cathedral, my best friend at the time, and we were walking around, and I was looking at like the most incredible, inspiring paintings that I'd ever seen in my life from Michelangelo. And my heart just burst. And there was this beam of light coming through, like this incredible stained glass window over my head. And I remember just standing in the light of this stained glass window with it pouring in on me, and just feeling completely surrendered and just completely filled, just with so much love and so much beauty. And I was so inspired and so touched by the presence of Holy Spirit. And I loved, even though I'm not Catholic, I'm like, I love seeing these images of Mary. Like, I just love Mary, because to me, she's just like Divine Ma, just pure compassion. And so I'm like so inspired. And as have gone through all of pretty much St. Peter's Cathedral, I'm like on my way out, because I've seen it all and I don't want to leave, but I'm like, okay, I've seen it. And then on the way out, I see these two angel statues, and they're holding this big basin of water, right? And the whole thing is corded off. Do not touch, right? You're not supposed to touch the angels. You're not supposed to touch the holy water. And yet I see this and I'm like, I need to touch that angel's hand. I'm like, this feeling just comes through me, and I know I need to touch it. And I think to myself, okay, there's some guards over there. They may see me, but I've seen everything in St. Peter's Cathedral, and I have to touch the hand of that angel. So, and I had to kind of step up a bit on my tippy toes, because the angels are big. And I put my hand on this angel's hand, and all this energy comes rushing through my body. And I hear a voice on the inside of myself, not on the outside, but on the inside. And this voice says, "You will be healed." And I knew that it was true. It's just a feeling that you know in every cell of your body when you hear it. There was no doubt in my mind. It was like everything shifted in that moment for me. I knew that I would be healed. And then I heard as well, but you must do yoga for the rest of your life. And um and I was like, okay, okay. And the next day when I woke up in the morning, the time when I was supposed to take my pills, my indomethacin and my Medrol, I didn't take it because I wanted to see what would happen given that I heard that I would be healed. And my body didn't swell up. And I'll tell you, I would try all the time just to see how long I could go without my body swelling up because I didn't want to be on those pills for the rest of my life, and I'm rebellious. It's like I don't like doing what people tell me to do just because they say I'm supposed to do it. It's like if my body wants it, then I will, but if it doesn't, I'm just not going to do it, right? So my body didn't swell. It didn't swell up. And not only did it not swell up, but this part that the steroids and the anti-inflammatory was not able to help, which had been this one knuckle right here, the red started going away because it still had been really big even on all of that. And it started to go down and the calcification started to go away. And I was healed. I was totally and completely healed.
Those are the best stories.
That's awesome.
That is the best. I am so glad you asked that question. And
I am too. Thank you.
Got that story to how important is that for all of us to hear right this moment, and Larisa, for you to remember. Yeah, thank you. I love the organicness of how these shows just bring us all together to share in this magic.
Me
I
too.
was going to say we go full circle, but it's more like we go in a spiral,
Yeah.
and it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. So, Karen, thank you for bringing that up.
Thank
That
you,
was a
Karen.
beautiful story. Thank you. Thank you.
So good to see you. I miss you.
I know it's been a long time. The one regret I had of that trip, we weren't there for very long, was that you said, "Oh, you've got to go to the Agape Church and with Michael Beckwith," and we didn't do that. And I've never been back to the States since then. And how many years ago is that? 20 years ago. And I so regret not taking your advice and going to the Agape Church to experience what they experience over there. But you shared lots of amazing stories with us. It was an incredible time we spent together. The one about your, how old is your eldest child now? Is it Aria? What, Aria?
Yes, Aria's 21.
21. Well, she was like 1 or maybe 18 months. But you were sharing about how she used to look at Sherby Sai Baba and say that she knew him.
Yes, she did. She would say, she'd correct people when they'd say Sai Baba. And this is when she could barely talk. I mean, she had a few words. She'd go, no, Sai Baba. She'd correct them.
Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Oh, thanks. Beautiful. I look forward to hearing the rest of your presentation. It's been beautiful to connect.
Thank you.
So good.
Thanks.
So good to see you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Larisa, do you want to share also about your Shakti Love Warriors group and your inspiration for starting that group and what's going on in the group right now? I tuned in today. I tuned in today and just so beautiful. So that mantra is powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I shared earlier that the whole reason why that came about, honestly, I mean, not the group. Okay, let me backtrack. The group was, it used to be called Larisa Stowe and Shakti Tribe. So it used to be all about the band.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had this inspiration, I would say a couple years ago, probably, I think it's a couple years ago now, to change the name of the group to Larisa Shakti Love Warriors, because I really wanted it to be about the community rather than just about my band's music. I wanted to create a space for us, a we space, really, is what it was all about. And then with the lockdowns, it hadn't really been like activated in the sense of other than me posting and putting little nice, what I like to call weems instead of memes, because instead of memes, I like we me's instead.
Love it. Love it. And I love how you've invited people in, like what you were saying earlier, that you were doing it every day.
Every day.
And now you have other people that have stepped up and started doing the meditations. And what you're going through right now, it ends on 2/22, this particular.
It's supposed to end on 2/20. And I think we'll officially end on 2/20, but we're going to keep going because it feels like, I don't feel like it's done. And I'm like, yeah, we're not just to do a 40-day with this. It feels really important for the activation. This specific mantra that we do from the 11 of the hour to the 22 of the hour is specifically to gently activate the Kundalini. And as Alan was talking about earlier, I had a huge Kundalini awakening that really culminated, I think, around 2008, like blasting Kundalini awakening. And that's a whole show in itself. That's a different show. But the Kundalini is so important right now, I believe, to help us make that evolutionary shift in consciousness, to make that leap in consciousness, because it truly is inside out teaching for all of us. And gentle is also important because I've also experienced Kundalini going sideways as well. And that's a whole other story. So I kind of have the map. Like what one of my best friends told me yesterday, she goes, you have the map. Like you've got the map of Kundalini awakening, not only from like the full explosive Kundalini awakening, but you also have when you don't listen, right? And it goes absolutely sideways, what can go sideways, and then how to help people like bring it back on course and get aligned with their Kundalini so that it's really productive and healthy and helps them thrive and the world thrive around them. So that's what this 41 day, which will extend, challenge is all about. And we do that every day together. So I invite everyone here to join this amazing, loving, kind, supportive group of humans that I really dream that it grows and grows and grows. Because it's beautifully modeling what's possible in the world right now.
It's like a garden. It's like walking into a garden. It's got so many beautiful flowers and plants in these really special beings that are in this group, and how they all hold space for each other, support each other, empower each other. It's really, really special. And you're like the mama overlighting it all, popping in. And I just think this is where we're supposed to be going during this time. This is what we're being invited to consider as far as how we do our journey. We don't have to do our journey alone. It doesn't have to be.
Oh, and it's so much more fun.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. I mean, this is, I think, one of the biggest pieces about, not doing it alone is that it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
In a time of drama and the dramas that we've gotten into and we're learning new ways of navigating that so that we can have fun together, that we don't have to get caught in the weeds and in the drama of it all,
Right.
And really when you know where you're going, right, and you know where you want to go together, and you keep your focus on where we're going together, and that all of that stuff is just personality, shadow stuff, and we'll work through it. But this is where we're going. That's the whole thing.
And can you repeat when it is? I'm going to put everything in the chat and how people can participate.
Joan of Angels is putting the stuff about the Kundalini conference on Saturday, May 21st, the portal to ascension.org. And then Larisa, it's on Facebook, your group.
Yes, go look it up right now. It's called Larisa's Shakti Love Warriors on Facebook, and it's a group. So just all you have to do is search on Larisa's, Larisa S Shakti Love Warriors group. Okay, a little apostrophe there, and you will find it. And it's just wonderful. It's just a wonderful, and it's free. So come on, like, hello. You get free yoga, free meditation. It's just because it's just a love fest. It's an absolute love fest.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And do we have, like, does this go through 7? I don't know what time. I'm like, do I play my song? Do it Lashmana?
We would love for you to play your song.
Okay, so does this go through like 7? Or actually,
yes.
Your time it's like 8 or where you are, right? I think it's 7 here.
Right, we do, but we really have no time limitations.
Okay.
So, but we try our best, to keep things around a presentation or conversations for about an hour, and then we open it up if people have questions. So we
fabulous.
can do all of that after we hear your beautiful song.
Okay, fabulous. And I just want to acknowledge that my friend Amy is over here. She's sitting on the sideline. She came in during our event, and people are waving at you. And
Wait a minute, they can see me?
No, but they're just sending you love.
Okay.
And she's here all the way from Canada, so it's wonderful to have her pop on in.
Is this my Amy too, Amy Millar?
No.
Oh, okay, because my Amy from Canada is in the States too right now.
Oh wow, what a coincidence.
Like, did she come to your house instead of coming to mine? How fun.
Well, knowing that we know so many of the same people, Michelle, it wouldn't have surprised me at all.
Right, true.
Right?
True.
Okay. Whew. Okay, so shifting into opening. Oh, it's doing it again. Hold on a second. My harmonium's been doing something weird recently.
It's talking to you.
I have to, it's this one note is like coming in for some reason. Now it went away. If I just touch the note, sometimes it allows itself to just go away. So we don't want this one note to play while I'm playing all the chords. There we go. Put this on. Put a little dampener on too. I'm calling back my spirit. I'm calling back my heart. I'm calling back my spirit. I'm calling back my heart. Come home, she's calling me. The river returns to the sea. Come home, she's calling me. Just trust the wind beneath your wings. I'm calling back my spirit. I'm calling back my heart. I'm calling back my spirit. I'm calling back my heart. Come home, she's calling me. The river
returns to the sea. Come home, she's calling me. Just trust the wind beneath your wings. I'm calling to my spirit. I'm calling to my heart. I'm calling to my spirit. I'm calling to my heart. Come home, she's calling me. The river returns to the sea. Come home, she's calling me. Just trust the wind beneath your wings. I'm calling to my spirit. I'm calling to my heart.
Oh, oh my God. That is such a special song.
I'm kind of speechless. That was
I mean,
amazing.
it's like we feel it, we wear it, it adorns us. When you sing that, Larisa, I mean, all of your songs I love. I wish you could just share every single song on here, because each one is so unique and so precious and so perfect.
Thank you, love.
Thank you for sharing that with all of us here. How many of you were really feeling that song?
Yeah, everybody. And as the hands go up, if you've got a question that you want to ask, please go ahead and put your hand up so you can be acknowledged.
I wish we could all sing that together. I see someone who wrote, I wish we could all sing that together. And I agree. I can't wait. It's like, I think it's going to be soon. I was just talking to my Bethany Grace, who plays violin in the band, and she was begging me. She's like, when can we play live again? And we're going to be doing some Holy Fest coming up in March out in Spanish Fork, and we're going to do a really big, that's a really big one. And then, we'll see. But we'll see, because it's the whole COVID thing. But it usually is really big. It's usually like 20,000 people or so. And then we're going to do one in Las Vegas. But I'm like, we should do maybe a home concert, like a real intimate concert, because it's important for us to get to sit there and love each other and sing together and cry together. And we need that, we really do. We really need to be together in life. It's important.
Well,
and I think that has been
you can all come to my house. Do it here.
Or you can come to Colorado. We have tons of land. Throw up some tents. 10,200 feet up under the stars.
Beautiful. That sounds amazing.
You could have a festival on your grounds, huh?
We've done it before. Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Do it.
For sure.
Okay,
Larisa's gonna be doing a workshop at at Disclosure Fest in June 18th, outside at Los Angeles State Historic Park. I don't know if you've decided what you're going to talk about just yet. I still think the group would very much appreciate your workshop about riding the dragon and the Kundalini, how we manage it.
Yeah, I'm like, it's interesting, Michelle. It's like, I realize with riding the dragon, it's like, wow, I want to gently activate people's Kundalini, and there's different levels. I guess I can teach people the different levels of riding the dragon. There's the more gentle, and then there's the more like really get that Kundalini going. And so I'm learning, it's like I'm really listening about, okay, how much to bring forward at once, especially at a festival with people, like teaching them how to do it, because, helping people awaken their Kundalini is a really big responsibility. It's like playing with fire. You got to make sure people are really ready for it too. So that's why we're doing the gentle right now with the mantra. It's like taking it step by step, getting this going. I know it's necessary for the evolving of consciousness on the planet, and I don't want to blow people out either, because it's like finding that,
That's responsible.
Very responsible. Yeah. Love.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi. Catherine has a question.
Yes, Catherine.
I have a question, but I also have some comments and just some feedback. And I want to thank you, Larissa, for talking tonight. I'm so happy I got to be here tonight to hear you. And thank you for your vulnerability. And I will be keeping you in my prayers every day. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I also had a huge Kundalini awakening in 2008, the end of 2007. And then in 2008 was the real big one. And it lasted for weeks. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was really good. And I was so happy and blissed out. And I was connecting with God and my guides. And I was in two worlds at once. People around me thought I went nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to experience a lot. And I got to experience what happens to a lot of people when they have Kundalini awakenings, especially very powerful ones. They are oftentimes put in the mental health system on drugs and told that they're having a psychotic break. So part of my mission is bringing awareness to this, to people that are having spiritual awakenings, and that they're not going crazy and they're not, having psychosis.
Yes.
So
thank you.
when I meet people, thank you. When I hear people speaking out about it, it's a big part of my mission. So I want to thank you for talking about that. I've really been very fortunate, because when it happened to me, I was opening up to my mediumship, and I started to go to a spiritualist church, and I was connecting, I was having mediumship connections, but I was learning more how to really connect with the spirit world and do it in a way that could help people. So I was doing it with service in mind. And once I learned how to meditate, that's when everything I was asking to meet my spirit guides, and just my walls disappeared around me, and I was out in the cosmos. And it was incredible. I was meeting all my spirit guides and everything. But the whole time, I had like people wanted me to go to, talk to somebody in the mental health field. And, I actually went and, I actually went into a psychiatric place, but the whole time my guides were with me, and God was talking to me, telling me, we want you to see this. We want you to see what happens to people that have these awakenings. And they told me, you're going to be working with people that are having these awakenings. And this is part of my mission, So I went in, And I remember the nurse was like, oh, we'll see if you're still connecting to God once we give you these meds, you know? And so they gave me meds and I was still connected to God. But guess what? I didn't tell the nurse. I was just like, okay, you know, bring it on, whatever. But the whole time they were talking to me and like keeping it humorous and light and doing all these synchronistic things with me. So I was just like, and I was still really, you know, it just, I knew it was part of my initiation. It was part of my learning. It was part of my education, you know, so that I could help other people. They didn't tell me exactly what I was going to be doing. And it's been unfolding since 2008. But now I feel like I'm really, you know, stepping in. And yeah, so just so many things happened after that. But
Well, thank you for sharing that with us,
Yeah,
Catherine.
thank you. That's
Very much.
and yes,
pretty
you're made for
amazing.
this. Like you're made for this time because this is a lot of people are going to be having these awakenings. It's destined. It's like it's absolute. This is on time.
yeah,
And for those of us who've gone through it, for those of us who've had blowouts, like I had a blowout, you know, really intense blowout at one point. It's like all of it is, you know, for a reason. It needed to happen so that we could help others, so that people won't be so afraid, because it's going to be necessary for there to be, for that to start working across the planet, like,
Yeah.
and it will spread like wildfire, and that will be the, I know that that's going to be the thing that's going to make everything go bam, you know, like
No.
whoop, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
you
It's funny.
know,
My guides were telling me at the time, they're like, you know, it seems it's kind of hard to believe, but so many people are going to be waking up. And they started to tell me about the ascension of our planet. And I'm like, well, what do you mean the ascension? I didn't really know about that at the time. And they said, yeah, the whole planet is ascending.
that's
And
what we're being told.
I said, everybody? They said, everyone. I go, even my ex-husband. They go, even your ex-husband. I was like, wow, this is big, you know, but they're telling me
It
like,
is, and it's real. It's not woo woo.
no,
That's the thing. It's not freaking woo woo now.
yeah.
This is
So
the real deal. This is going to be the new normal in the
it
future.
is.
You know, it's going to be like, we'll be like, yeah, we've been talking about this forever. And the kids are going to come in. It's just going to be blah, blah, blah. That's going to be so normalized. And they're going to be like, that's old, you know, like ascension. Of course, you know, and we're going to be like, do you understand what we went through to get here? When we had to be put in institutions and people, our husbands thought we were crazy and all this stuff was happening. You know, it'll be just like this thing, you know, like, do you get it? I was just having that conversation with Viraj yesterday, you know, like the younger people are coming in, like all this stuff is becoming normalized to them. And it's like, for those of us who've gone through these like intense initiations and had to kind of go into hell to pave the way for others, you know, it's like I feel like, you know, like the grannies and the grandparents had to walk miles to school in the snow and I had to go get my water 5 miles away, you know. It's like I feel do you know what I had to go through with these Kundalini awakenings? It's like, you could have this so the world could ascend. That's what we do. That's what we're here for, right?
Beautiful. So I think we have time for one more question. If anyone has a question.
I really appreciate everybody jumping in and sharing their experiences. Thank you, Catherine, for being vulnerable and sharing as well, and being there for so many other people. You know, when we get these voices in our heads telling us things, you know, I know it's can be scary to admit that it's happening. And then when we're afforded the opportunity to help someone else, it really brings it all around into like, wow, this is why I was born. This is why we incarnated, you know, to be in service to others. It feels so good to be able to help somebody else that's going through it. And hopefully have insights that are helpful, that can ease some of those burdens. I like knowing that we're not alone, that we're all holding each other and going through it together. And Larisa, whoo, man, the way that you put it all together and with such a great attitude and bringing us all back into our hearts. Didn't I tell you all? I didn't lie. Larisa does that. You can actually feel the heart opening when you're sharing, Larisa, when you're singing. I see Joan of Angels there. I know that she's experiencing that too.
Hi, Joan.
I am so excited. I had a text from you. Can I show the event for everyone? Just to hear your story has been really wonderful, and your Kundalini Awakening had me tingling.
For sure.
Thank you.
So let me just show the screen of the event so that you can all come to this event. It's a Kundalini event, and Larissa's going to be speaking and sharing her music, and it'll just be kind of very exciting. Okay, so I can't. That's okay.
Let's see, it should have multiple. Hold on a minute. Okay, try that now.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe you can share it, Sheila, because my computer, I'm having a lot of computer problems,
Okay,
and
sure.
it's not going to do its thing for us on Zoom. Oh, thank you.
All right. Yeah, no
Perfect.
problem. And what is the date? Yeah,
May
I usually run
21st.
through these, but let's.
Oh, I had it all kind of. Oh, you're going through
Yeah,
them. I don't think it's been. Well, it is up. It just went up yesterday.
Oh, it's not.
So, I put the link in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. So, everybody, please visit, portaltoascension.org and find out more about this fantastic event. Let's see. This is in April.
So keep
So
going.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Well, we're just promoting Portal to Ascension right now, but I'm doing a lot of events with Neil, so it's very exciting. There it is.
There it is.
Got it. All right, the flyer was just completed yesterday when we actually finalized things with Larissa. Okay.
Beautiful.
And
awesome.
so happy you're going to be with us.
I am too. Joan.
Yeah. Can you click register now, because you can see the flyer? I don't even know if you've seen it.
I have not. I will see it now.
There it is.
There it is. I thought I'd surprise you.
Aw. Awesome.
You might know some of the people.
Wow. Fantastic.
There's
Joan,
Alan.
I know Neil.
Have you got that on your Facebook page we can share from your page?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you should be on it because I saw you on it. Keep going. One more down.
Oh, you mean me? I just saw myself there.
You did. Okay.
Right.
Phew.
I did, right there in the middle.
Okay, perfect.
My head's down. I'm doing this.
You're in,
I'm praying.
You're in sacred prayer.
I don't have a flyer for that yet, Karen, but as soon as I get it, I'll post it on the Wish Alliance.
Sweet. Thank you for sharing this. And it should be a really exciting event. I kind of feel like people are going to already be coming there in such a high vibration mood, but I feel like between the stories and the energy, the music, your songs, it's going to be wonderful. So
thanks, Joan.
You are so welcome.
And do you want to mention your show real quick? Let people know while you're on here.
Well, which show? So I do have shows. I have Miracle Monday on Monday nights, and it's really a big healing show. I do Step into the Miraculous. Some of you have been on the show, and some of you are going to be on the show. And I've been working with Neil to do different events. So this week we have a really unique one, Beyond UFO Disclosure on Wednesday. I'm not speaking at that because, I just I don't know. When I think about having, a Star Family person here in the kitchen for dinner, my heart still has not, it's like I go, I want to see and I want to know everything. Can I be a gorgeous angel? Or no. So anyway, so I'm not speaking, but I'm co-hosting. So I'll be on that. And I have an event also this Saturday coming up on manifesting practical dreams into reality. So that's also going on this weekend. So thank you for letting me share that.
Of course. Of course.
So
And it's always
awesome.
good to see you. Mwah. So thanks for being here. Happy
to
Valentine's
meet you.
Day.
Yeah, I'm so happy to meet you tonight. It's just delightful. And Michelle, well, you're the hostess with the mostest. And if I had to hire someone to just explain me to the world, you would be the one.
Oh,
Yes, right?
thank
It really
you.
is, right? She's
Thank you.
amazing.
I just am so uplifted by the way that we're all sharing together, and this conscious collaboration without competition is something that I've been talking about for so many years, and it feels really good that we're all in it now. There's just, we know that in order to continue on this spiral of evolution, we have to step into the we. It just, there's no other way around it, that we are meant to be in that communal way of being and uplifting. And it's here now, and it feels so incredible to know that we're navigating these spaces together, all of us. And I just love that. I don't see it as any one person doing one thing. We're all, like you said earlier, Larisa, we're weaving.
Right, that
And
evolution.
yeah, it just feels really
Cool.
yes, all these platforms. And how cool is that Alan from New Realities comes on and says, yeah, I'll put that on my YouTube. And Portal to Ascension says, yeah, Sheila, I want to help you do that. And then Sheila, you say, okay, the Wish Alliance, we're gonna host more people. And so more and more people are stepping into the gifts and bringing them around. It's just like Joan's show is, filled with miracles. It's miraculous and feels so good. I had a call this weekend, Sheila. I wanted to share with you that one of my dear Star Brother friends reached out to me, and he was inspired by a show that I think he heard on Awakening Code Radio. And I said, I really feel that you fit with the Wish Alliance. This is like some place that I think he's going to start sharing in as well. His name is Grant Hicks. So look out for him when he comes and joins the Wish Alliance, because he's an incredible being. So it's just so nice to be able to share it all and be in it together.
Great. And Karen, I know that you've got a question and I brought you up, but I've got one more thing that I do want to share with everyone real quickly, because we now have, well, of course, next week, I've got Bridget up. I'll go ahead and show, not next week, but this Thursday, we have Bridget coming at 6 p.m., Bridget Renee Holiday, and she's going to be talking to us about conscious creator of our life and new earth, and how we step into that every moment. So I'm really excited. Join us on Thursday on Cosmic Conversations. And now, if people click on our ambassador page, and thank you, April, I love you. She got this up. She's so amazing. Right here, you click, and
oh, how awesome.
Well, wait a minute, let me do this first. So these are all the current individuals that we now have as ambassadors with the Wish Alliance. Each one of these have gifts and talents and programs and services and courses, you name it, books, whatever it is that they have that they're sharing with the world. And from here, we go over to the services, and everything is listed. Also, under ambassadors, we have articles and courses and social media. But the really exciting thing for me is now, whoop, and maybe we don't have that activated yet, but people can click on this, and pretty soon you can just go right on. You can put all your information in. We'll check it out, make sure, we vet people, obviously, because we want to make sure that we have really, the best of the best. So, if someone's having an awakening experience, if they're having issues, they can go through all of these services and they can contact any one of these individuals. So let's say let's look at angels and our ascended masters. Now, all of these individuals they can contact. There's Joan of Angels. Let's click on Miss Joan, and this will pull up, and it shows that she's here to heal, inspire, and uplift. And then you can go to her website. You can click, you can go to the next individual, you can go back. And so if you have not yet checked out the Wish Alliance website, please do so, because it's not just, like one or two or three individuals. It's this community that's there waiting to support people. And if you have gifts and talents, if you're listening to this, whether, if you're a Portal to Ascension or New Realities, or if you're on Awake and Ascending through Clubhouse, listening to any of these programs, please check it out, wishalliance.org. There's my commercial, Karen. It's all yours. I just had to throw that in.
It's so well, darling. You did so well. I want to go back and ask people if they had questions. And me, I've got a million questions all the time. But I wanted to go back to something Larissa said, and I think it would be really great to unpack it here, especially with all these amazing people online. I think this is quite relevant for everyone. You said that when you spoke to Mother Mary, or Mother, the Divine Mother, she said that you were operating under what did you call it? Something about the 9, and you said it was the Divine Martyr or something. How did you put it, Larissa?
The saintly martyr.
Saintly martyr.
And that is a big one to unpack, but I've been given so much clarity on that, so much clarity.
Looking at everyone here, we're all here to be in service to others, and we're all quite aligned with the energy of the 9, which is the energy of humanity, the collective, the we, the light we. We've been talking about it all day today. But how do you not get lost? How do you love yourself, Valentine's Day? How do you have a love affair with you while you're loving the rest of the world? I think there's a balance in that. And it really does speak to the breast cancer. I know Olivia Newton-John, an Aussie singer, no doubt.
Yeah.
She said that when she got breast cancer, that was her big realization. And so we'd look at someone like her and you, who are out there in the public eye and doing what they love and looking like they're loving themselves, right? They've got their career, they've got their money, they've got their houses, they've got their friends. It looks like they've got everything they want, and yet go straight to the breast, which is that wake up call. So do you want to speak a little about that?
Well, I think I can speak for a lot of us for sure, which is, when you're made to like be the mama, like you see so clearly like what people need, and you see that there's so much love and potential within everyone to experience that love and the power of who they are. I know for myself, it's been really easy to overextend myself in life, because it feels like I have a never-ending amount of energy, in a sense, to be able to be there for others, to help others. And yet there's only so much to go around, right? And at the end of the day, it's kind of like a bank account, It's like you spend your energy, so to speak, and then you can run out of energy. And we're socialized in this time to go, 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 do. And that, yeah, you can multitask and you can do this and you can do it all and you can be a mom and you da 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 da. And so I know I've like fallen into that, just like wanting to do so much and all this energy going out. And yet, the importance of making sure that it's really in alignment, and that's not easy. I have to say, it isn't easy for somebody like me to be able to have like boundaries, to be like, okay, it's okay if I don't return texts for days. It's okay because, a lot of people who are in the public, there's a lot of people we know, right? So we get like hundreds of texts, hundreds of emails, phone calls, and we love everybody so much. So we're like, okay, I gotta, and it's like, it's okay to retreat. It's okay to self-care. And I do self-care a hell of a lot these days. And yet, like I'm telling you, I do my spiritual practice every day. Like I do my breath work every day. And I have missed only one day in over like 2.5 years or so. So I do my breath work every day. I do my moving meditation, riding the dragon every day. I shake it loose, like I shake my energy out. I do sauna. I do cold showers. I eat really well. I like hardly any processed, especially now, but no processed foods. So I spend a lot of energy on self-care. And yet, there's still these levels of, because of the way the world is set up and how accessible we all are now and how many people we know. There's still layers of like really just fine-tuning my instrument of what is really in balance, what I can really handle, and to stay healthy. And allowing others, that this is a big piece, Karen, is allowing others, which I haven't fully figured out yet, to be honest with you. I'm not that great at it, to help me do all the things that need to be done, because there's a lot that I'm creating. And I tend to, like, I have a newsletter that needs to go out for Valentine's Day still. And I handed it off to Binge to do it. And I just got to look at it and I'm like, nope, that is not as heart-centered as I'd like it to be. I can't let it go out like that. So it's like jumping back in again. That sounds a little too cells to me there. So, a little too pitchy. So I'm like, it's like, it has to be really dropped in here. And it's like, okay, how to get to that point of allowing others to really co-create with me and let go and let go and let go and have it be authentic and have it be me too, all at the same time. Still learning that. Not the best. It's not my bailiwick quite yet. You know what I mean? So there's levels of all this.
In the energy world and combining that with the healing work, the breasts are all about nurturing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's about that giving and receiving, and it's about, breast cancer, all about going within, encapsulating, going back into that womb of yourself and nurturing yourself, which it sounds like you're doing a great job doing.
I know, right? Right. But I do have this thing that Spirit did come to me and say, because I'm able to transmute all the time with energy and with Spirit. Like I've transmuted, I can't even tell you. It would blow your mind if I would give you my list of miracles of how many things I've transmuted literally through the divine, through energy work, with myself, inside out with the Kundalini. This time, Spirit, when it came to me, it said, okay, this time, love, you got to get to the root of the root in the physical, which is estrogen dominance as well, because it's going to keep coming back and you're going to keep having these problems that you're going to have to transmute as well. Because I literally have massive estrogen dominance in my breast, and my mama taking a synthetic estrogen before I came in, me as a baby being put on antibiotics I had no breast milk. I had no antibiotic. I mean, I had tons of antibiotics, had my adenoids out twice, my tonsils out. And this is all before I was like 5, so I need to deal with my estrogen dominance. And it's not something that my gynecologist knew how to do. And I didn't really know about it until recently that I could do something about it. So now I'm going to get to the root of that. And I have faith that this is all happening for a reason, and yes, to deepen like the pieces of how it can be fun to be in collaboration in the we space and to empower others around me to actually take some of that. I just have to keep building my muscle, with all that.
Can I make a comment on that?
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a bit worried. Well, what I'm seeing is that you've been a man in so many past lives. The estrogen dominance was the constant reminder that you're here to promote that feminine, not only within you, but to allow that to be, that awareness of who we are, creative, spiritual, psychic, nurturing, empathic beings, because we've had such a patriotic, dominant society. And so one of the missions was to spread that awareness. And what happened to me recently, and Sheila knows this, I was sick at the end of last year, beginning of this year, and I've still got a few symptoms that are sort of lingering. And as I ask my guides, I like to call them the guides because they're not mine alone, why, they say, when you get back to health, you can so easily slip back into old habits, right? Which I'm finding myself doing as I get healthier and healthier from being sick. But having those lingering symptoms is just that reminder, that awareness to come back to nurturing the self, come back to the promise you made to yourself. You're going to eat better. You're going to do more exercise. You're going to rest more, because we can just go back into the old routine of not doing any of that, right? And so sometimes illness or symptoms are a real blessing, because it just is that reminder that you made a promise to yourself, or you made a promise to life, that you would show up for everybody, but you'd also show up for yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. So important right now for all of us. I definitely hear that and receive that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much, honey. This has been so amazing, so beautiful. I mean, I love how we just come together and there is this organic unfolding that starts to happen, and it starts to build and it starts to build, and then everybody, you can feel how the energy is even building from everyone who's with us tonight on the Zoom call. And it's just amazing. It's that container, that container that we talked about. And so, if I could do one thing on this Valentine's Day, is take all that energy in that container and just send it right to you to be used, and however the body, mind, spirit needs that, and just send all of that to you for the utilization of self.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
So beautiful. So beautiful. And, just what a beautiful show. I told Michelle, I said, you've got to come. When I think about, love and nurturing and support, she's the first person that, popped into my mind. And so I wanted to reach out. And I knew that she knew all these wonderful, nurturing, powerful women. And this month we really wanted to focus on that. So that empowerment and that self-love, because really we cannot extend that love to others till we truly learn how to love ourselves and to do so fully. And so thank you, Michelle. Thank you for being such an amazing co-host this month. I absolutely love it. Larissa, thank you so much. And I'd also like to ask if there's any last words that you would like to leave us all with.
One of my favorite things to share is you come from love, you return to love because you are love.
Mm.
Beautiful.
And
What
that,
a
that
perfect
like
thing
that.
to leave us with on Valentine's. Yes.
I'd love to, leave everybody with that, because that's the core of that's at the essence of everything, is that we are this love.
It's
We are.
amazing.
Thank
Not,
you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to each one of you.
Yes.
It feels really good. And Sheila, thinking about Valentine's days in the past have always been, because I'm 30 years in my marriage. This year, we will have been married 30 years. I started thinking, oh no, it's Valentine's Day. We always do something for Valentine's Day. And I didn't know how would I commit to, being here with everyone on this night that I usually share with my husband. But we were able to go away for the weekend and have a whole weekend together. So I feel like it allowed me to bring more balance into my relationship too. God bless you, Joan. I saw that.
Oh my God, did you all hear it?
You're not on mute, baby.
Larisa knows this. One of our friends, Susan
Huff.
worked with Sabamfu Some from
Yes.
Burkina Faso, and she said anytime somebody sneezes, it means you're speaking truth.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, well, I was just about to say something to you then when I sneezed, okay? I love your husband. I adore him. And he, to me, sometimes represents, that divine masculine who's been forced to live with a divine feminine and change from his very ground of being, Yeah. And so every time you speak on your relationship, I get closer into it just moves me a lot. And just having met him, and feeling his energy and you with him. And I figured out I've known you since Contact in the Desert, the first one, whenever that was. So it feels like forever. I think it was forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I sneezed, because it was important what you were saying.
I love it. Well, I love it. It just felt so right to be here on Valentine's Day with all of you. And he was really supportive. We were able to get away for the weekend, and it was just him and I, and so beautiful with the green rolling hills and Solvang. And we got to walk to a waterfall, and, just take in all the sights and sounds. And we did some wine tasting, and that was fun. But it was just nice, I'm really experiencing stepping into more balance, like what you were sharing, Larisa, about giving, and, as far as your delegating and all of that and being pulled on a lot. And this weekend felt really good to forgive myself for not getting back to anyone. I just didn't text people back, and I was okay with it. I didn't feel guilt around it. And everything seems to be flowing. Like today, even though a lot of stuff happened today, we were able to flow into these moments. So thank you for sharing so authentically, Larisa, and for allowing us all to hold space. And thank you to each one of you for all the comments. It seems like a lot of people were really resonating and feeling, relating to what's going on with you and in life in general. So here we are. Halfway through February of 2022 already.
And thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much for thinking of me. And Sheila, just so wonderful. This was just by divine appointment. My gosh, seeing Karen after all these years and meeting Joan and hearing Catherine's story. It's just really good stuff. So thank you. Really good. Beautiful lady.
Enjoy your night with Amy.
Thank you. I know she's patient.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Patient
so
here.
much. Thank you all for being here. Please join us on Cosmic Conversations this Thursday, where we'll be live on Portal to Ascension YouTube, and then our replays are also on not just Portal to Ascension, but we're on New Realities. We're also have all of the replays. You can go to the Wish Alliance and find those, and so you guys can see yourself waving at the end of the shows, because I think that's one of the most fun parts. I go back through them sometimes, and it's like, I'm going to fast forward because I want to get to the very end where everybody's just chit-chatting and sharing and expressing love and throwing kisses and virtual hugging. That is so fun. And so, yep, there you go. So I love it. Love all of you guys. Thank you again for being here, and until next time, namaste.
Namaste.
Much love. Happy Valentine's Day.
Can I do a plug for you? Because you're our guest on the Inner Sanctum sessions in a week or two. When is it?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if you want to, I'm doing the same that you're doing now. It'll be streaming on my YouTube, but a bit like these groups. If you go to my website and put your email in, I'll send you the Zoom link if you want to come on. So we're going to have spotlighting Sheila. Woohoo!
Right on.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. So thank you guys, and
thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Day.
Lots of love.
Love, love, love.
Lots of love.